Hello YouTube, NuggetsHoopster here, and today I'm going to be doing a kind of like a pro tips type thing from me, NuggetsHoopster obviously. I don't claim to be a pro, but it's just kind of what I've sort of picked up on from all the pros that I've been with, watched on YouTube, watched Jewel at Nationals or something like that. So pretty much I'm just trying to pass along the tips that I've picked up from them or they've told me or whatever else the case may be. So this video is actually not going to be about X Sabers. This is just the only interesting thing I could think of doing. But this is going to be about pretty much just making the right plays and not playing carelessly. Yu-Gi-Oh is obviously all about making plays. Plays determine what happens in the game. And to be totally honest with you, right now, at least, the game is really not a lot about knowing how to play your deck, but it's more about how your opponent is going to respond to your plays. X Sabers is a pretty good example. X Sabers aren't really the hardest deck in the world to play, but I think playing X Sabers in a deck like Ghost Keepers, which I got in that deck box right there, both of them I think take a lot of reading skills. And I think reading comes with experience and it also comes with a lot of playtesting. So even if you're not the greatest player, but if you play enough X Saber mirror matches, you will eventually be able to read what your opponent has set the majority of the time, and based on that, you can make better plays than the players who can't read what their opponent has set. And speaking from personal experience on the whole reading thing, I don't know, it just seems like this format is a lot less consistent with reads because the formats in the past, I could always read people decently well, I thought. But this format, it's I was really off the charts with what my opponent had set, but I don't know, this format's kind of weird. But anyway, so yeah, that's the first thing. I think especially this format, being able to read your opponent is really, really important. I think a good one is Rescue Cat. If for some reason you have a feeling that they have a non-chainable trap like Dimensional Prison or Mirror Force set, then you can just cat and go into high inlay and get your pluses off that, just because you made that read. And a lot of players would maybe have not done that play because they were worried about bottomless, but most people play bottomless when you first summon a monster or something like that. Like if I summoned I don't know, where is a good monster as an example. If I summoned Bogart Knight and said I wasn't activating his effect, my opponent is usually gonna bottomless that pretty soon. So if you notice through the turns, if you're not attacking with anything and they just have a lot of back rows set, well, not a lot of back rows, but they're just not playing one particular back row, then you can probably make a read that it's a defensive card Deep Prison or something like that. So that would be a good opportunity to do that. So yeah, that was the whole reading thing. And playing a lot helps, I think, because I don't know, it's just more of the whole experience thing. Because if you play 100 mirror matches, you're eventually going to realize what the right play is to make in certain situations. And something that was brought up yesterday by my friend Andrew was people who just don't even care if their opponent is going to have anything like a card like Torrential or Royal Oppression. Because he was just talking about a person that he knew who always says that they know that their opponent has Oppression or Torrential set, but instead they would just summon Cat anyway and get Oppression, or go to Fall Troll and then get Torrential when they summon the Fall Troll. So that's another thing too. If I don't know, it just seems sometimes when I don't trust my gut instinct, bad things end up happening. So usually if I'm reading a Torrential, I usually don't try to summon anything unless it's a floater. And it seems when I go against that, something bad happens. So my suggestion is just to go with your gut, especially if you've been in the same situation a lot, like, with the whole torrential thing. Like, that's just one example out of like a bunch that I could name right now. So yeah, that's pretty much it about just going with your gut. I think going with your gut's always better. Like in school, they always tell you to pick the answer that you thought of first and not the ones that you thought of last, because it's more likely that you're going to be right the first time. So I like to like apply Yu-Gi-Oh to different games like that. I mean, different things in life like that. So yeah. The next thing, this one maybe seem obvious, but know your rulings. Like on your deck. Know that sending Rescue Cat to the graveyard is a cost, and therefore you can do weird stuff with like Torrential. Yesterday I was playtesting against Gravekeepers. I actually lost one of the games because I went summon Rescue Cat, priority, and then they can respond with Torrential, blow up the field, and then get Cat Search. So that's not really a ruling, but it's just like a really good play that you can make, sometimes. The next one is Royal Oppression. Knowing that Royal Oppression can only negate once per chain, I think is pretty important. Because, like, I don't know, maybe your Oppression is just really, like, bogging you down or something. But you have a card like Fall Troll on the field already. Something you can do is, like, say that says, well, you can go summon Rescue Cat and then call priority. And then when they pay the 800, you can chain your Gothams and get back 2 X-Sabers. Because this can't negate twice in a chain. There are a lot of cool plays that you can do with that. Also, Torrential and Gothams. It's kind of like Scapegoats and Torrential back in the Mobius format, where like when they summon the monster, you can play Gothams and then chain the Torrential because the activation's still on the summon. So then you can play Torrential, blow up the field, and then get Gothams effect, which is really good. So that's kind of like the Rescue Cat Torrential play. So that's really good. Know that Cold Wave, like the old text of Cold Wave, doesn't say anything about negating face-up cards already. But, if Oppression's out and you play Cold Wave, then Oppression can be activated for the 2 turns that it's out. And yeah, that was just pretty much kind of a random video about different things. I'm sorry if you don't like X-Sabers, but that was like the first deck box that I found. So I thought that I would just use that as my kind of like a layout type thing to make it more interesting than just the Spellground mat. You're just looking at that. And about the Spellground mat, it's probably sold already. Somebody on here, I think, is going to buy it. I'm not sure yet, though. So if you want it, this is a 1-player, obviously. If you want it, send me a message. Work something out. I'm just looking to sell it, but if you want to buy it, then there you go. So I know this was really random, guys, but I just felt like I just wanted to talk about making the right plays and just stuff like that. So hopefully you guys can learn something that I was, taught by different people throughout my Yu-Gi-Oh career. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully this wasn't too random for you, like I said, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks.